in the studio by a lawyer, Elie Hatem, who is of Lebanese origin. Is that correct?
That's right.
Thank you very much indeed for coming to talk to us. Now, France is currently debating a question of same-sex marriage. In Lebanon, it's just a question of heterosexual married couples, but you know, them being of different religious groups. How likely do you think it is that Lebanon, which is considered to be the most liberal, perhaps, of all the countries in the Middle East, is heading towards a change in the law here?
Yeah, the thing is that they are now debating for a secular marriage in Lebanon, because all the civil situation of the Lebanese is built up according to the church law. I mean, you know, it depends on the people, either if they are Catholics, Orthodox, Muslim Shiite, or Muslim Sunnite. So the question is that to change the whole system and to have a civil system that rules all the family system.
Okay, so at the moment, the only two choices we heard in that report is for a mixed couple, let's say, a Sunni and a Christian, for argument's sake, who want to get married or who don't want to have a religious ceremony of any kind. They either have to travel to Turkey abroad, or they have to, one of them has to convert. Is that not the case?
Yes, that happens, and this is what we call it, legally speaking, the frauding to the law. What means frauding to the law? That means, for example, I need to divorce, and if I am Catholic, for example, there is no divorce, and then we need absolutely to get married to somebody else. So what they do is they change their right, their religion, you know, from Catholic, for example, to Muslims, then they have the right to have 2 or 3 women. So it's a way, you know, to throw the domestic law and then to adopt, you know, the possibility of getting, between brackets, divorced. Or if not even, you know, a mixed marriage, for example, if I want to get married and then able to be not to be afraid, not, you know, being under the Catholic framework, legal framework. So we go to Cyprus or we go to Turkey or to Syria, and to have a civil marriage that enables you to get divorced after.
There's a sort of a loophole, if you like, a way of bypassing.
That's right, yeah, it's cheating the system.
But there is this old law that dates back to 1936, from the time of the French Mandate, and if I'm not mistaken, it does permit civil marriages for people who've got no religious affiliation at all. Is that something people can use?
Yeah, but it is very difficult, because I will tell you now, the system today in Lebanon is it is a religious system. I mean, you know, it's a communal system. Well, what means a communal system? That each community has its legal system, legal tribunal, and it is not. It's impossible today to say that I do not belong to one of the community, because if not, you cannot even vote. Even for the voters, they have to belong to one of the or the other community.
Now, religious leaders getting very hot under the collar there in Lebanon. Skeptics might say that perhaps the thing they fear most, as well as threatening people with damnation and calling people apostates for supporting that civil union debate, perhaps they fear being marginalized, because after all, they have something to gain from the marriage process, involvement in divorce and inheritance battles. Presumably they get commissions today.
Yes, unfortunately, you know, I'm a lawyer in France, and I know that the big difference between the lawyers in France and then the lawyers in Lebanon for civil, you know, for family, for example, proceedings. I know that the family proceedings in France, we get around 2,000 euros maximum for our legal fees for a divorce, a normal divorce. In Lebanon, for a normal divorce, the priests, I mean the priests, the Christians or the Muslim priests, they get between 10 to 100,000 euros as legal fees for those files. And I think there is also a part of that in the debate against the civil marriage. And then one will have to take into consideration that a leader, a political leader, used to be Raymond Hatem, and he was in the 50s pleading for a civil marriage. Why? Because there is another aspect which is more psychological aspect, which is by leaving the people, you know, all communities getting married together, this opened the door to more solidarity between communities and between the people in Lebanon.
All right, so do you think, very briefly, do you think we're likely to see a change anytime soon in Lebanon in terms of this debate? Are we likely to see that civil union bill go forward?
Yes, this is what I think so, and I think that the new generation, they are willing to, you know, to change the law, especially also the law concerning the children, because as you know, the mothers, for example, from a Lebanese origin cannot give the citizenship to her children.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed, Elie Hatem, a lawyer there and an expert on all things Lebanese. So that was tonight's Focus.